I'd like you guys to just kind of focus on how God has blessed you in your lives as we cry out and reposition ourselves in fears and stuff. I just wanted to give an example. You know, the desperate plea and the crying out is an extreme tormenting fear and danger. All of our desperate pleas for fear, God hears them. And I'll give you an example, a quick testimony. God, I remember when years and years ago, I was worried about foreclosure on my house and everything. And I had a fear of living on the streets. And my biggest fear, like Joe said, his biggest fear came upon him. My biggest fear was this, that I would not have a place to stay and not live on the streets. And I cried out to God one day. I had got a letter of foreclosure. And the Lord said to me, Moses, what do you have in your hand? We know Moses used that staff out there. And he said to me, Moses, what do you have in your hand? As I got through crying out and said, I'm going to be on the streets and everything, quoting the scripture, how, he always supplied needs. And the Lord said to me, Moses, what do you have in your hand? And I was still crying, saying, Lord, I got a letter in my hand saying that, they're going to take my house from me. And he said to me, take that letter down to Human Resources tomorrow morning when you go to work. So when I went to work, I didn't know what it meant. I went downstairs to Human Resources and I showed them a letter. I said, I have a letter saying that they're going to foreclose on my house. And the Human Resources lady, Kathy, said to me, do you have 401k? And I said, yes. And she said, well, what we're going to do is the money that you owe, we're going to pull it out of your 401k. She said, we're able to do that because you have an urgent need here. So if I wasn't crying out to the Lord, I would have never known that. When he said to me, take it to him a resource, I didn't know. I just was obedient. And then, we have to remember, we got to be obedient too when God hears our cries. So I just would like for you, as we get ready to go before the Lord in prayer, think about the things God has done for you when you cry